Hey gang, I had a small group leader ask me two very good questions, and I figured I would share them with you and offer some perspective, and maybe I might be of some service to you guys as well. So, here we go. Number one, how do I deal with someone who talks too much and robs everyone of time in the group of discussion? This is a person who tends to hog time. They have a comment for every comment. They have a question for every question. Often they like to debate or argue a lot. This is a person who honestly is a roadblock or a dead end to conversation. Everyone else ends up having to kind of wait until their sermon is done or their spiel. How do we lovingly deal with this kind of person? We want to be patient with them. We want to make sure that they have time to be vulnerable and share and be honest. But how do we deal with them when they start to rob everyone else of time in the group? The second question was, how do I deal with someone who complains or criticizes our church or pastors or staff? This is a person who voices legitimate or illegitimate concern or criticism with our church, and we want to let them know how they can do that in a healthy way. There are healthy avenues to complain or voice dissent or concern or disagreement. So, I would say, first of all, you need to deal with this sort of preemptively. Take the time at the beginning of small group or at the end. Just you have the authority, you have that freedom as the group leader to train. Take some time to talk about what a healthy group looks like. All right, talk about the appropriate lines of communication here at church. If someone has an issue or concern that they would like to voice and they feel very legitimate about that with Avalon Church, then there are good avenues and bad avenues to do that. So, for example, if someone has an issue that they would like to have addressed, especially if it's not a sin issue, they simply disagree with the way we do something at Avalon, the way we do our environments or our music, or if they just have a concern that they would like to voice, they can totally do that on a communication card. I encourage you to direct them toward a communication card. If they would like to have someone contact them, a pastor or a leader, then they can put that on the communication card as well. Also, they can talk with you. Let them know that anyone who has concern or issue, you have their confidence that they can talk to you, and that you'll hear them, you'll be patient and loving with them, and that you won't be judgmental or condemning to them. So offer that up as well. Let them know the appropriate ways. You can forward or filter information to me as your pastor if there is a concern that you feel is legitimate as well. And we'll work on that. But talk with your group. Talk with your group about what health looks like so that someone might not feel the need to criticize and complain or even sermonize in group. If this is a problem or if this is a person who has this issue already in your group and you want to know how to deal with them now, I would recommend dealing with that not on small group day. Take the time to meet with them personally. All right, this is not necessarily a fun conversation to have, but it is an honorable burden that we all share, that we're going to help and walk along with those who are struggling. So I would recommend a face-to-face. I would recommend at the very least a voice-to-voice conversation, all right? Text messages and emails don't do so great here because you really want to be able to pass on your heart and your attitude and your mood, and text messages and emails often don't get that across, and you may end up being misunderstood. So I want them to be able to understand your heart, that you're being patient, loving, and protective of them, all the while that you are protecting the time and the attitudes of everyone else in your group, okay? So if this is a person who in group continues to do this, you've already had that conversation, you need to know that you have the authority, the personal responsibility as group leader. If you need to, we need to be very, very, very cautious about this, but you have the red button to be able to go, listen, man, you've shared enough. I would like for other people to be able to talk tonight, okay? You want to be clear and polite and loving, but you also need to be able to be firm, okay? I want you to avoid being mealy-mouthed or overly cautious about this. Again, you are here to protect everyone in the group. Chances are you'll never have to do that because the vast majority of people will hear common sense, they'll understand the sensibility of the training that you've done, and then they'll also really take under consideration the significance of the private conversation you've had as well. These people, honestly, simply want help. They want to know that they're being heard. And so chances are you won't have to go with that nuclear option of stopping conversation in group to do so. But I want you to know that you have the responsibility and authority. I'm releasing you to lovingly, firmly, politely, and patiently deal with your people. Talk with them well, voice the expectation, and honestly, anytime you can, do it privately so you can protect their dignity and their respect as well. So I hope I've been helpful, and I hope that I get to talk to each and every one of you very soon. I love you very much. You guys do a great job. Thank you.